Alrighty then, I'm not quite sure where we are. All I know is that my card filled up. So who knew? Me taking all these videos, who would think my card would fill up? Anyways, so there's no room in here, so I'll kind of go back. There's no room in here to actually put these in. They have to have one resistor on each one of these, even as small as these are. Again, if I didn't touch on this, the issue is the gearbox, which goes back and forth here, is touching the leads from all of these bottom LEDs, and so they have to be done up this way and then through. The wiring has to go through there. Some of these wires will work. The blue wire will work. The white wire will work. The green wire will work. And again, green and brown are the other two that we can use for the bottom light, and also the other one. We can also use the white wire. So we got 4 wires here for 3 combinations here: top light, bottom light, and then the two. We're not going to put them on 2 different ones because we're not going to flash them. These are actually for the marker or for the number board. So excited to see that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and reconfigure this with the wires coming through the hole and all that, and might show that to you, might not, but certainly we'll come back when we have made a little bit more progress here. Okay, so I've bent it around a little bit better, made a better configuration out of it. I don't know if you can, let's see if I can point to some of these things. Maybe that'll help. I got to find something I can point with. Yeah, I'll use this little thing. So the top lead here is the negative lead for the white wire or the headlight. And I may make that the yellow wire just because it's a separate function. We got a headlight is this one, and this one is the Mars light. So so if you look underneath this, you see the configuration is this is the headlight, and these two are the marker number board lights here. Okay, and what I've done is I'll take this apart so you can see better what's going on there. What I've done is I've made it so that they go through the 2 holes. There's a hole here and a hole here, right? And I've kind of flipped this up. If I had thought about this better, I would have, instead of coming down and then back up, I would have just gone straight out. But this again is the white wire right there, right on the top. Then the blue, right, was common to all 4 of these, is the one that's underneath that. And then these 3 wires, each one of these is individual, has to have resistors on it, and they come together. They won't be together. They'll be separate wires on that, and I'll show you that as I clip these and go into it. But suffice it to say that this goes in like this, right, with the two wires at the top and the 3 at the bottom, and then it kind of the soldered blue wire, common wire, then kind of flips over the edge of that, and then all this goes on there, so you can get a good idea what that looks like. Anyways, I'm going to continue to wire this. I think we're in at a spot right now where I can go ahead and bring wires through here. I don't think I'm going to do, I don't know. See, they're so close, and I'm going to have to put resistors on all of these anyhow. So usually what I do, and I say usually because I've done this many times, but typically what I'll do is I will bring all of these to here, and then because there's the scoop out there, so let's get a closer look at what we're talking about. See if I can zoom down in there. Nope, they're going the wrong way. So looking at this, the way this thing is set up, there's this big dip right here, so I can put all the resistors there and then carry additional wires back over here. So if I'm going to do that anyhow, the only wire that's not that is the blue common. Okay, instead of me soldering to these through the hole, and there, you'll see, I'm going to put wires, the appropriate wires, from here back this way, just so the resistors will be in here. You'll see. Again, I hope that makes a little bit of sense. It'll make more sense when you see it all together. Alrighty then, you betcha. It's the next day, and putting all these all together and in shrink tube, and don't know if I showed that, but taking that cluster now, and imagining it going into the light. I'm going to call it a light shroud. I guess we call it a light shroud, right? Like that. Yeah. And about ready to put that in. Now we've got, besides the green wire, so these two will have individual resistors on them. That's the reason why they're two, right? And the white wire, which also will have a resistor on it, back up inside, up in here. We have two more connections here, one in the top that we've already put a resistor on. That'll go to the yellow wire, and then the center bus wire that goes to all of them will be blue, and that'll be the plus. So typically here in the Train Buddy shop, and I know other people do this too, is that blue is the bus, because it is plus to everything. And so where you want to put your resistors, since you have to put a resistor on each individual LED, you put it on the negative wire, or the one that actually implements the function. Typically these are, and I'll bring it up close so you can see it. The ones that we use here in the shop, I bought an ammo box of thousands of them, and so these are 1/8 watt. It doesn't take much here for LEDs. It consumes about 20 milliamps, and 1/8 watt. And if you can read the bands there, it's black, orange, red. So black, orange, black is 1, orange is 3, red is 2. So it's 1, 3, 2. But the 2 is a multiplier. The red there is a multiplier, and that's 2 zeros. So 1, 3, 0, 0. So it's 1.3 kilo ohms, 1,000 ohms, or 1,300 ohms. And again, typically I use those. 1,000 ohms would be appropriate. So if you got 1,000 ohm ones, I just happen to have an ammo box of thousands of these in 1.3 versus 1,000. You really can't tell the difference in the LED. So there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put those in the shroud. We're ready to put them in here with the men. The soldering iron is warming up, and I'm going to go ahead and fit the wires and fit all that in there, and we'll bring you back in just a second. And so there you go. That's the way it's going to look. Now, it's going to be problematic for me to solder to these other two pins with it in that configuration. So I know I've got to bring these wires through this back plane here. And so typically I don't use that little slot that you see there. I'll drill a hole on top up there, because all of these wires again have to go up like this over the tower, the gear tower that's on that front wheel, as you can see right here, because it comes up in the middle of that whole thing and it goes back and forth. So again, I'll put a hole usually right in the top of this. Excuse me. And then once I do that and I pull these wires through, then I'll bring the two wires that have to come all the way through, the blue wire and the blue wire and yellow wire have to come through and have to attach to the top lens cluster, and then I'll roll it and put it back in shape. So let me work on that and then pull all the wires through there. Be right back. Alrighty then. So we're going to take a look now at. I'm going to try to try to zoom in here a little bit. We're going to take a look at the resistors. So again, we've got green and white now that we need to put resistors on, and it'll be 3 resistors because this green wire, which is coming from the decoder, gets split. But we also want to start tying down these wires because we get the wires flopping all over the place, and again, makes it easier to manage if you can tack them down. This is usually a double-sided sticky tape right here and over here. The wires typically are in those anyhow, so you can, if you want to do a quick management job, you just push them down and they usually stay. We're probably going to throw a piece of Kapton tape across the bulk of this right here. Would be appropriate. Again, we can put resistors here. So let's throw a piece of Kapton tape across that. If you wanted to do it just temporarily, you could put black tape over that and then come back later. I usually find that if you can do it right the first time, get it done. Don't spend a lot of time doing temporary stuff. And again, this depends upon whether or not you're doing this commercially, as I am, for someone else, and they're going to pay you, and so usually you get paid by the job. You don't get paid by the hour, and you quote a job price, and so because you're quoting a job price, the number of hours you take is divided by the amount of time amount of time it takes you, right? So whatever your price was that you quoted. So again, the quicker is better and more permanent is better. So there you go. And we put Kapton tape across that. And again, other videos talked about Kapton tape. I'm going to go ahead and now strip back these wires, putting the resistors on. The brown wire here is for another function at some later date, and we might trim that back. We might even decide we're going to put a cab light up here, although now I've got the blue and got some other issues. So I think I'm just going to cut that back. And again, I'm going to leave it here for some other day. Maybe somebody else will want to come back in later on and add something, but it might be me, for all I know. In any case, looks pretty good at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and add resistors and bring you back after I've added these resistors to show you the buttoned up piece. Alrighty then. So before I get too proud of my work, I should check it first before I go ahead and shrink tube. So you see they get the 2 resistors under this shrink tube and another resistor under this one for the white and the green wires. So before I do that, I'm going to take this over to the so I'm going to take you off the stand, and we're going to go over to the layout, and we're going to test this baby out. Now I got to be real careful here because I got the speaker kind of laying on the side. Let me reorient this and pick all this up and put it over kind of like that. And then we're going to pick this baby up and put it on the test track, which is right behind me. And we're going to test the lights to make sure that they work before we get, like I said, before we start buttoning things up. It's a whole lot easier to do that while we've got this like this. So I'm going to use my new Digitrack 602 throttle. So this is the brand new throttle. I just knocked the speaker off. 602D throttle. And we're going to I'm going to go ahead. This is number 3. We have to turn the track power on, so we do that with the power and track on. Okay, we're going to push the little buttons down here to make the light come on for that, and we hear something. That's good. So we know that it's there. The loco, so we press loco, 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 Well, I don't know what's going on here. Let's do exit, loco. No, I don't want to steal anything. I want to get rid of it. Okay, so it's hard to see. I'm looking through the display to see what you're looking at. It's hard to see, but the display shows 6504 in gray. I'm going to hit 3. Doesn't seem to want to be doing anything. Let's do loco 3. There we go. Loco 3, right? And loco again. Now it's black, which means I've selected it. Now I'm going to try the lights here, because remember we've got a situation where I'm not quite sure what's going on. With 0 for the light, front light, and oh, did I already give it a number? I don't know. I got a blue light back here which says the soundtrack's system is on. Maybe I've already given it the number. I've forgotten. What's my number? 573. So let's go back over here. Let's do 573. I forgot. Did I actually give it the number? Okay, loco 573 loco. Right now 0. 1, 2, 3. Horn? Nah, it's not 573. It's still 0, or it's still 3, I think. Loco 3. Loco. All right, let's see if I get a horn. Well, there's a bell, right? 2, horn. Okay, light 0. Ah, yes. Okay, I got a light. I don't know what I did wrong. In any case, light is headlights on. Right? If I hit reverse, the bottom light should come on. There it comes on. Okay, went to reverse. And actually this shows forward, which is correct. The bottom light should be on for forward. Top light should be on for reverse. All right, and then the 2 side lights are actually on the green, which usually would be like 3, but it's not. On the new Tsunami 2s, it's like 25. All right, so let's go full info. Gives me all 28, right? Down here, I'm going to go to 20, right? I know that it's like 20, 25, 26, 23. No, that wasn't it. 24. Ah, 24 then is these lights. So we're going to have to reconfigure those to something else. But needless to say, or suffice it to say, right, that we are good to go. All 4 lights are lit up, and they're lit up and doing in good shape. Okay, so our test is working. Let's make sure the motor runs, which we've already done that before. Yes, everything's good. And good sound coming back, right? Backwards, forwards. Alrighty then, let's get ready to button this baby up. Alrighty, so hopefully you can see this, but so I've put the speaker in, right, in the top, and if you remember right, I have appropriately. This didn't have sides on it. It had a back and it had a front, but it didn't have the 2 sides on it. It doesn't really need it, as long as it's airtight up against there. So remember, I put the sealant, Clear RTV silicone sealant, right, around the speaker to make sure it was airtight. And it sounds pretty good already, even out of it. It sounds pretty good, but it shouldn't until this gets really sealed up well. So I'm going to put sealant along this edge, right, along this edge. I already put sealant across the back edge before I pushed it in, and then this piece, this rounded piece which goes up against the top, is kind of caved in a little bit, but it won't matter because I'm going to go ahead and seal that too. And when I seal all of that up, I'll be ready to put it on, but I'll wait this evening. So I'm going to put it on tonight, go to bed, come back in the morning after it's all set up, and then we're going to finish this up. Alrighty then, so I was all anxious to finish up here and get it all done, and when I put it on the track and started it up, everything worked fine, no sound. So it turned out that the speaker, which I then disemboweled the shell to find out that the speaker had the wire had disconnected from the speaker. So I took it all apart and soldered the wire back in, but I had to cut the wires to the decoder in order to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and reattach them to the decoder. So the system is sitting over here on the track, ready to go. The wires that I cut, and again I'll splice those and put shrink tube over them. And we should be ready to go, except for one other little minor thing, and that's that where the yellow LEDs are that come out to the side here. This was set up with the rounded section there for the number boards, but if you look on this engine, they're not really on the front, they're on the side right here. And so I have to redirect those LEDs to go all the way to one side. They have to go directly out. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to reorient those LEDs, and again I just have to get get tiny fingers to get a pair of tweezers and kind of bend those in there. Shouldn't have any other issues. And see what I can do to get them aimed properly. I don't hold a lot of hope for that, but I'll do what I can do in order to get it to look halfway decent. You can see them through the front you can see the yellow coming through the front too when it's not running. But here again, we'll get it all buttoned up, and I'll give you a show. Alrighty then, probably the last video on this engine. I turned some of the lights out so that you can see the gyro light on the top and the bottom light. I'm going to turn those out just so that you can see the number board lights on the side. That repositioning seemed to do fairly well. I got too much light on the outside. Maybe on this side looks a little better. Yeah, a little bit. But then when I turn the headlights on, very, very good. All right, we're gonna just run it a little bit just to make sure that it runs well. Right on the test track, and then reverse it. And that's about all. I just wanted you to see what was going on. The sound sounds wonderful. All right, we're gonna do the short horn stop, and even the bell sounds great. Whole engine sounds, all of them sound fantastic. Got a 1-inch speaker mounted the way it is. So that's the end of that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for some more. We got plenty more coming. And that's the end of this one.